After releasing critically acclaimed Fly Like an Ego earlier this year, the jack-of-all-trades Canadian musician Hawksley Workman is embarking on a cross-country tour starting next week and across the province well into December. He's got a show coming up at the Danforth Music Hall later this week. Hawksley Workman joins us live this morning here on CB24 Breakfast. Hey, good to talk to you this morning.
Hey!
You seem to love touring and love performing live. What is it for you that it's like being up on stage and sort of showing your fans what you're all about?
I mean, it's the most authentic thing a musician can do these days. I think that, we listen to a lot of fixed up, tuned up, gussied up music. And then when the rubber hits the road in a live show, we really find out who has it in them to do it for real, and who's kind of been fudging it a bit in the studio. I feel like it's the best way for me to connect. It's the best way for me to feel that oneness that is created when an audience and an artist get to meet in the room together. It's glorious. It's the reason why I do this.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be a whole lot of fun. I mean, you did an extensive tour of Canada last year. You're back on the road again this year, and you're fresh from a European leg of your tour here. What do you notice the differences are, European crowds to Canadian crowds, and I'm sure even province to province, you pick up on different, perceptions or feelings?
You're 100% right. I mean, what you've just said is it's a great assessment. Canada is a very large place, and from city to city to city, there's enough space between major cities in Canada that people do end up feeling different, reacting differently to the music. I was just in England for a month back in October, and my relationship to England, but particularly the city of London and maybe Manchester, goes back 25 years. And it's a country that, when I was the next big thing, England was all over me, and whoever's left was the people that decided I was their bag, And so when I go to London, I can sell out shows and still have people come. They remember me from my good old days when I was like a 20-something and an almost famous kid. But what I get to be as a 50-year-old touring now is somebody who, look, not many people get to have the kind of job I have, and not many people get to have it for as long as I've had it. And so it's about entering into a time of being absolutely filled with gratitude that I can get off the plane in England and have people come to my shows. In Canada, I'm still a Canadian kid. I still feel connected to this place. I was a Much Music kid, then I was on Much Music. And so all of a sudden I feel that the connection I have to Canada goes back to that late 20th century stuff where we had a heavy investment in the idea of being in Canada and being a Canadian artist.
Yeah, I mean, Hawksley, you and I are basically the same age, and, so I've sort of grown up or matured, I suppose, with you and your music. So I'm curious as to how you then do that and translate that to the stage when you've got, 17 albums to your name, a really big catalog here. How do you try to figure out what you're going to put into each show? Because you want to satisfy the audience with the hits, but also bring in some of the new stuff as well. How do you manage that?
Oh, Nick, you're like reading my brains right now. I would say that this is going to be a real fans tour. I feel like in some ways, even when I went to England, I was trying out material that was new or material that I hadn't played in a long time or hadn't played at all. And I feel like there's a certain amount of if you have a long career, there's a certain amount of a little bit of disappointing your audience and then a lot more pleasing your audience. Because I think if you just please, people get tired of that too. It's overly saccharine. So this tour is definitely, there's a lot of deep cuts for fans, and then there's going to be a few hits like Battlefords and Striptease and Jealous of Your Cigarette. You can't not play those ones.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's what we expect. I mean, any fans of your work is going to be expecting those for sure. Also, here we are, 17 albums later, do you continue to write, or you want to keep writing? How much longer do you want to keep going here? You've got such a great catalog here, but you could continue to add to it. I mean, is that your plan, just to keep doing this as long as you can?
Yeah, Nick, I feel like, my hero was always Bruce Cockburn, and Bruce Cockburn's heroes were all the American blues legends. And I know that Bruce's plan is to die on stage. And I sort of feel like that's probably, if I've been following in his footsteps since I was a teenager, so I figure that's what I got to do. Die on stage and keep writing until then. It makes me feel young. It makes me feel useful. It feels like I'm still contributing to things in a way that's positive and real.
All right, Hawksley Workman, he's got a show Thursday in Ottawa, Friday in Kingston at the Broom Factory, Saturday at the Danforth Music Hall. Busy guy. I'm taking a look at your touring list here. It's amazing, going right across the country. Great to speak to you this morning. Good luck with the rest of the tour. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Nick. Cheers.
All right, take care.